Good morning, everyone, and happy Tuesday. It's Tuesday, October 28th, 2025. Got some more green coming in today. Dow futures up 295, NASDAQ futures up 85, S&P futures up 17, VIX down 0.76 or 0.75%, 15.67. Pre-FOMC decision day. In terms of stocks, Microsoft just popped here just about 30 minutes ago, up 3.7%. Morning Articulate. No scheduled news really today. Let's see. I thought there was one thing I was looking at. Consumer confidence at the top of the hour. Actually, not the top of the hour. That's it. 9 a.m. Yeah, 9 a.m. Central. Yep, top of the hour. And then the interest rate decision tomorrow. Yes, PayPal had earnings up 8.5%. Bell's going to ring here in a few seconds. And there is the bell. S&P and NASDAQ open at all-time highs. Dow up 307, NASDAQ up 121, S&P up 18, S&P the weakest. NVIDIA pushing up. Coinbase pushing up. Tesla coming down. Tesla in the red. VIX 15.76. It'll be interesting to see what tomorrow brings in terms of how juiced those premiums get. I know the expectation is a quarter point rate cut. I remember last FOMC a couple months ago, it was pretty low VIX as well. And I remember that FOMC Iron Condor did very well. Apple new all-time highs again. Apple right at yesterday's high and pre-market highs. I guess it's a little bit above pre-market highs. Pre-market highs would be right about yesterday's close, which would be down here just a little bit more. I was trying to see when what day was the last FOMC day. Does anybody remember? Just trying to see how my TLC trading did on the day before last FOMC. $9.16, okay. I did not do a TLC trade the day before. Oh wait, yeah, I did. Yeah, I had a one winning trade the day before. Yeah, it was the 17th. Thank you, Watson. Apple, I was watching it. It came down to pre-market highs and bounced. I was considering an early runner. Yeah, it's always on Wednesday. Yep, typically. Three DTE today. Let's see, Apple holding up well. I might look at a early runner here on the 272.5 calls in Apple. Let me give it just another second or another minute here. It's a minute and a half from this bar finishing, so it's right down at pre-market highs, but it's kind of going below it now. Yep, Tesla popped. Apple dropping even lower now, so see how this bar finishes. Yeah, I think I'll hold off. Apple's come down too far. Tesla with a big green bar. Right at pre-market highs. I would trade the 460 calls in Tesla. Filled at 895 Tesla. It's pulling back right to pre-market highs. So pretty aggressive entry. Close half at 985. Nice bouncing Apple. Filled at 1010 on that push up in Tesla. Yeah, I gave up on Apple because it came down a little too much too far to where I was managing my risk around, but it did bounce right back. And I did way too many contracts in Tesla accidentally. I actually did more than what I usually do. I closed another Tesla here. Filled at 11:05. So that happened to work out. Close some more Tesla at $12. Yeah, Apple with a pretty good snapback. VIX going up though. Be back in 1 minute. S&P closing up the gap up from pre-market. Tesla with another big bar. MSTR pushing up. Just above pre-market highs. S&P coming down to yesterday's highs. Wouldn't be surprised to see it bounce here. S&P definitely the weakest. Tesla coming down a bit. S&P now just went red. Tesla coming down close to where I entered. Apple pulling back again. Well, Tesla, is that all you got? S&P and NASDAQ still coming down. See if S&P can hold where yesterday's close was. Doesn't look like it's going to. Tesla coming down to about where I entered. Just a little above it. Feels like we want to go lower. Tesla back down about where I entered. This is a bummer because I had a really nice profit. All right, Tesla coming down below pre-market highs. I'm going to close my Tesla here as we're getting weak. Filled at 850. Close Tesla. Still had a pretty nice profit just because I accidentally went bigger than I should have. S&P right at yesterday's close. Yeah, Meta's been hanging out around previous day high here, and it's been holding. So yeah, that's definitely a potential. So, looks like it's popping. Oh, look at that bounce back in the S&P and the Nasdaq. Yeah, so I'm sure Meta premiums are juiced as well. PLTR going through highs of day. Nasdaq with a little better bounce than the S&P. S&P getting pushed right back down. So that's interesting. Wow, S&P pushed all the way back down. See if it can bounce back up in the last 2 minutes of this bar. Yeah, Meta right at previous day highs here. Oh, baby. Yeah, those premiums are juiced. I think I'll skip Meta. AMD pushing up. Tesla trying to pop back up. It's right up pre-market highs again. Yeah, even further out of the money is over 2K per contract. Yeah, Netflix straight up. PLTR trying to get to pre-market highs. I'm not sure if we're going to bounce here or if S&P is going to roll over. It's trying to stay above yesterday's highs. There goes PLTR popping above previous pre-market highs. Keep my eye on PLTR and see if it stays above there. PLTR pushed right back down and below pre-market highs. AMD has popped. AMD looking like it's going to get a big volume bar to the upside. New all-time highs in AMD. Apple's just chopping. So I'm wondering if the indices are going to start chopping here right at S&P chopping right at previous day highs, or if it's going to push back up. Yeah, PLTR shut down. AMD with a big volume bar. Tesla rebounded nicely, so looks like I cut that a little prematurely, but it's ripping back up to highs of, trying to get back up to highs of day. If PLTR can get back up through pre-market highs and not get pushed back down, I might get long PLTR. Just not convinced we're going back up yet. Yeah, see, indices coming back down. Can the S&P stay green? Tesla pushed through highs of day. Very quick, small pullback in AMD. Meta, good no trade in Meta. Starting to get a little choppy. Yeah, AMD would have been a real nice one. Tesla's either going to have a mighty 90 or another big volume bar. It's looking like a big volume bar. AMD popped yesterday and then just trended down the rest of the day. So it's pulling back here. Here goes Tesla taking off. Yeah, big volume bar. Shoot, should have kept my Tesla on, but it did drop below my line in the sand. Yeah, PLTR could not get back up to highs. AMD, I was looking at the 270 calls in AMD. But I was going to see if it would pull back just a little bit more. Which there's the case where I could have gotten aggressive and maybe went in a little smaller and then added to it if it kept coming back down, but chose not to enter. Again, I'm not convinced we're bouncing yet. So not currently in anything at the moment. AMD popping back up, so it didn't come down anymore for me. Tesla's still going up. Getting a little bit of a bounce now in the indices. Yeah, still kind of chop mode. Man, AMD popped again. Darn it. Yeah, I should have been aggressive on that one. And Meta really fell apart. Came down through lows of day. Amazon down to lows of day. Amazon has gone red. Tesla pulling back to yesterday's highs. PLTR all the way back down. Feels like we want to roll over. But that's how chop can feel at times. Yeah, not really seeing anything right now. AMD still pushing. That would have been a dandy on that pullback. Just trying to wait and see if it would pull back just a little bit more. But it did not. Tesla pushing highs. Meta still falling though. Meta through lows of day. Tesla through highs of day. Apple in the red now. Seems like we're getting pretty choppy here. Yeah, Meta really fell apart. Not seeing really any clear-cut mighty 90s or anybody else in anything? I got a feeling the S&P's going to come back down. It feels heavy, but hasn't really gone anywhere in the last 20 minutes. Yeah, sometimes these days before you have market moving days,